How are you going to beat him?
By convincing voters that I have fresh legs. I am from a different generation, and we're in the middle of a war in this country, and I do believe that. We're in the middle of a war between those of us who love this country and our founding ideals.
But Trump loves the country.
And we're all on the same side of this war, right? We're all, Trump, myself, et cetera. I even think many independents and some Democrats are on the side of this war. Those of us who love this country and our founding ideals, and a fringe minority, and I do believe it's a fringe minority, who hate this country and our founding ideals. That's the real divide.
I mean, I think on the whole...
And so how am I going to beat him?
Yeah.
How am I going to beat the rest of the Republican field? The question is, who is the right general to now lead us to victory in that war? Well, here's one of the tricks. Half the people on the other side of that war, Piers, are people younger than me who never learned those ideals in the first place. We can bring them along too. Now we're talking about somebody who has not been wounded in that war. I have fresh legs. I am 38 years old, 5 years older than Thomas Jefferson was when he wrote the Declaration of Independence, but less than half the age of the other people who were running, many of them. So I believe I have an ability to take our America First agenda to the next level. And honest to God, I would love Trump as an advisor, as a mentor, telling me exactly where the bodies are buried in the administrative state or otherwise, to be able to go further. He rolled that log over. We saw what crawled out.
You thought about him as your potential VP?
I've thought of him as a mentor. I don't think he would take the VP job, although I haven't asked him. I'll keep it on the list, but I think that
Are you tempted to
I think
run
it's
out?
highly unlikely that he would accept that.
Are you tempted to
one.
run out and commit a lot of crimes to get indictments to get your poll numbers up?
I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to wrap up very soon. But I'll do just a few little quick ones.
And the truth is, though, Piers, I just think it's really important that, again, you understand this. I think you understand this. I don't mean to be preachy, but there is a difference between making a bad judgment and committing a crime. And I think it is a danger to our liberty.
I'm not saying he's a criminal.
To conflate those
By the way,
things.
I'm not saying he's a criminal.
And have
I'm
you
just
read
saying
those indictments?
It is an extraordinary state of affairs where someone can face that volume of criminal indictments,
and I think
his poll numbers keep going up. I mean, in England, that candidate would be dead and buried after the first barrage of them, right?
I think
however unfair they may be.
That's on the politics of it. I think that the reality is the opposite here is the fact that all of these indictments are coming at the same time right as he's running for office, using novel legal theories that have never been prosecuted before.
I think a lot of that has merit.
Has to do with the fact that he's running.
I think they're over-egging the souffle, as I would say, the opposition.
I think they're just determined one way or another.
Do you ever hang out with Trump? You ever talk to him?
I've talked to him a few times. Yeah.
When was the last time?
It's been a while, yeah. Probably
how long?
Before the first debate, easily, yeah.
Do you think he should have debated? Is he being a bit gutless, not getting on that stage?
I think as long as he's this far ahead, I kind of get it. But I hope that we have a chance to have open discourse in this race. But, you know, it's like you're the NBA playoffs, the team that's, you know, number one by a stretch gets a bye. You know, we're about to have the third debate. I'm focused on making sure that I'm the clear second before
I think you've been very good.
The debate.
I think you're a great energizing force in the race. I've said this to you from the very start.
I've
interviewed you in much shorter context many times. But
we've sparred. We've had our fun.
Yeah, but I like it. And also, I think you get out there and you put yourself in the lion's den, which I respect. I do respect it. And I have to say, we haven't really got into it, but all the woke madness stuff, you've been absolutely rock solid on. And I completely agree with you.
I appreciate you saying that. And the thing is, and this also about me is related to one of the other questions you were asking. I wrote the book Woke Inc. Back when it actually was a risk to write that book.
Yes, you did.
Now, the reason I share all the same beliefs, but I don't talk about it as much because, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go criticize wokeness today, right? It's the new popular thing to do.
You did write that.
It's almost what the cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
The people who are doing it today were the people who were too afraid to do it in 2020.
I think what I absolutely respect about you saw the dangers of it, and you saw that it was becoming, under the guise of liberalism, it was becoming a new form of fascism. And I think you served a valuable public service in blowing that lid up. And I feel it's beginning to turn.
I think it is too.
The majority of people are just sick and tired of it.
Well, I think this election makes a big difference in that result, just in terms of not even the laws we pass, there's some element of that, but just the tone of national character that we set in the country. Because if you think about what allows, wokeness or anything like it to fester, it's a deeper generational hunger for purpose and meaning. And I think it's been a long time since we've had a president that has revived and spoken to our national character. And that's half the job. I mean, if people grill on policies, that's just half the job. The other half of the job is, do you have an understanding of what our national character is? And then can you actually bring it back?
Well, let me ask you about your character.
And for young people, we're able to do that.
Let me ask you about your character very quickly. How rich are you?
It varies depending on the stock market. Billion on a good day and, maybe 600 million on a bad day.
US dollars?
Yeah.
$1 billion on a good day?
Yeah, maybe a little more on a good day, yeah.
Do you like being a billionaire?
I don't particularly relish the title. I am not one of these people that's been a life achievement of mine. I'm thrilled that this country allowed me to achieve everything that I have. I'm proud of my accomplishments. I don't apologize for success, but I also don't fetishize green pieces of paper. I think sometimes it's something that leads people to deep unhappiness, and I've been around a lot of them, and I'm careful to make sure I don't become one of them either.